If you've ever struggled to make drums work in your looping setup, then this might be the piece of gear that you've been missing. Not only does the Nord Drum 3P sound great out of the gate, but it's genuinely inspiring to play. This isn't your typical sample pad, it's an analog synth, and with that comes tons of pros and a few cons. In this video, let's break it down. Hey guys, welcome back to Loop with Jack. This channel is all about live looping, gear reviews, and tutorials to help you make better live music. Today I wanted to show you a recent purchase of mine. This is the Nord Drum 3P, which I picked up from my new live looping setup. This ties in directly to my Back to the Stage series, which I've just started, where I'm going to be rebuilding my live setup piece by piece. So stick around if you want to see what I think of this drum pad and the ways that I'm going to use it inside Loopy Pro. If I'm honest, drums have always been the weak link in my live looping setup. Sure, using drum loops from a talented drummer helps a lot, but whenever I have tried to record my own drums using the sample pads or like a MIDI controller, I get some pretty lackluster results and nothing too inspiring. What I really needed was a way to play drums live, record them into Loopy Pro, and then take advantage of the MIDI features before playing them back. I've also been thinking about the performance side of live looping, and I realised that the audience are more likely to connect with a performance if I'm using drumsticks instead of just tapping some small pads or using a MIDI keyboard. It brings that visual and musical edge to a performance. I looked at some other options such as the SPDSX from Roland and then the ALC strike pad or multipad or whatever that's called, but these are more sample-based units, meaning you load actual audio samples onto the device and trigger them from there, whereas the Nord Drum 3P is an actual synthesizer, which comes with its own set of pros and cons. So what is the Nord Drum 3P? It's a compact 6-channel modeling percussion synthesizer with built-in pads. This means that it doesn't use samples, it generates drum sounds in real time using synthesis, and that alone puts it in a different category. The top 3 features that sold me on the Nord Drum 3P: 1, it's not a sampler, which means no fussing around with custom sample kits. I just load a patch, tweak a few knobs, and then I'm good to go from there. Number 2, it sends and receives MIDI, which means I can record MIDI loops live into Loopy Pro, take advantage of quantization, and then send it back to the Nord Drum to play live. Great for those slightly out-of-time moments which are inevitable, seeing as I'm not a particularly good drummer, but it is something I am currently working on. It's made by Nord, a company with a stellar reputation in the synth world, and that gave me a lot of confidence in buying this unit, and the build and sound quality is likely to match that brand name. Here's the bonus, this thing isn't just drums, it's a really capable bass synthesizer and general synth as well, and I plan to layer up some bass parts and some synth parts using this as well as using it to trigger MIDI inside of Loopy using a whole host of amazing third-party apps that will accept MIDI and allow you to trigger different things. Now I've only had it for about a month, but I'm already getting lost in sound design. It's honestly too fun. I keep getting distracted when I'm trying to create these YouTube videos or create the next song for my live show because you just get lost in going through the different presets. It's a real fun unit to use. what's my real world use case for this pad? Well, it's quickly becoming the centerpiece of my live setup for drums, percussion, and some synth and bass elements. It works really, really well for sketching ideas, playing live, or even as a MIDI controller if you want to trigger other apps or sounds inside of Loopy Pro. Now let me show you how I'm using Loopy Pro's MIDI features to live quantize my drum parts when I'm playing the Nord Drum 3P. Now keep in mind that of course this is Loopy 2.0 specific, and that is not currently out to the public yet. It's still in the public beta stage, so hopefully that will be out soon. How soon? I don't know, only the developers know, but it's a really cool feature that I'm looking forward to using. So let's take a quick look at how I've configured this inside Loopy Pro. You can see a yellow square MIDI clip center of the template here, and what I've done is gone into the mixer, click the plus icon to add MIDI, and then from the list of options that you can see here, you'll notice that the Babyface Pro, which is my audio interface, has been recognized, and I just click port 1, and then that allows me to send MIDI in to Loopy Pro. So that's coming in here on this far left hand side, and then the destination is yellow, that MIDI clip, which I'm going to be recording the MIDI data, and then I want it to send that MIDI data that I've just recorded back into the Nord drum. So down this yellow channel here at the end of destinations, again I'm now sending this out to the Babyface via MIDI. So the cool thing about this, if I demonstrate, is I'll be able to layer things live into the MIDI clip, and then I can send that quantized MIDI data back out to the Nord drum, allowing me to audition different sounds or just layer things up that way. And if I really like what I record, I can then of course bounce that to audio as well, but I'll probably show that in a different video. I'll just show you today how I'm using it to just basic loop. So let's have a quick go. Press play. Just got this little loop which I've got on a little guitar part, and then let's just record something again. And you can hear that it's now looping back for me. It's tightened things up because of the quantization, and if I double press with my fingers I can add on top of that. Some hi-hat in there. And the really cool thing is I can audition different sounds. So if I just press play on this MIDI loop, I can cycle through different options on the Nord. And you can listen to all these different kits and see what you like. It's a pretty powerful setup. And if I quickly show you the quantization settings I've got here, so I've just put it on this loop specifically just to demonstrate, and in the playback settings I've overridden it so that the basic quantization is on 16th notes, and then the intensity I've only put it at 50% because I still want that human feel, and I don't mind a little bit of fluctuation in timing, but I just want it to catch those really loose hits that I'm probably likely to do. You get the idea. Now this isn't just about simplifying my setup, it's about adding a new instrument, something that I can play, learn and grow with, not just another button to push. And what about some pros and cons? Well, it's simple, fun and inspiring to use. I mean really inspiring to use. It's got great presets out of the box. It's got really deep synthesis and synth features if you want to dig a little deeper. And it's really easy to navigate once you spend a little time with it. All of these buttons across the front here and these knobs make it super easy to actually access almost every feature that you would want. Now, what's not perfect? Well, it's only got one stereo output, so you can't route all 6 pads to separate audio channels inside Loopy or wherever you're taking this. And that could be a real deal breaker for some. There's no audio sample playback within the unit itself, which might feel limiting if that's what you're expecting from a drum pad. However, there is a workaround, right? It's a MIDI controller, so you could load up, I don't know, Koala sampler inside of Loopy Pro, load up any audio samples you want, and just use the pads to trigger those samples. So it's kind of a hybrid approach here, which you can use to your advantage. And of course, stick control and actual skill matters. So when you're using drumsticks, you've got to be good at playing drums, or at least know how to use drumsticks properly. Something I do not know how to use at the moment. I'm still figuring out the best way of holding them. My left wrist is pretty weak, and I'm struggling with lots of like paradiddles and beats and stuff like that. But, you know, it's something I'm working on, and I'm quite excited to learn this new skill. Am I happy with this unit? Absolutely. It's still early days, but the creativity it's unlocked is already worth the investment for me. This thing is going to be in every single looping session I do moving forward, and I'm really looking forward to diving a little bit deeper with this unit. I would recommend it for drummers, looping performers, or any electronic musicians who want to add a more expressive percussion element to their setup. If you're someone who prefers working with audio samples, or you need multi-out routing, it may not be the best fit for you, but for me it's a really strong unit. So I'd love to hear what you guys use for live drums. Do you stick to loops, MIDI pads, sample triggers? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm always looking for new ideas, and I know a load of you out there have gone further down this road than I have. Now you can download my Loopy Pro templates, a PDF of the main takeaways from today's video, and more over on my website. The links are down in the description below. This video is part of my Back to the Stage series, where I'm rebuilding my live setup piece by piece and trying to share with you every step along the way. So if you're into live looping, performance gear, and behind the scenes setups, that kind of stuff, then again, go over to my website and join me there, where I'm going to be uploading way more stuff. Please do hit that like button, it really does help, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.